Hey. It's me. Basically, I'm gonna be reading Reddit. Guys, I'm recording on an iPad, so I'm not sure if I should look where I should look. Anyway, I'm gonna be reading Reddit TIFU posts, and that stands for Today I Up. Yeah, so it's just people sharing their experiences of how they fricked up, how they screwed up, you know. It happens to the best of us. Not me though. Basically, we're gonna rank this with a tier list, and at the top is not sure why you're not arrested. You know, some people screw up more than others, and you know, that's just their prerogative. Next is A tier, and that is you're being put on trial. The courtroom doesn't know what to do with you yet. I don't know if they'll ever know what to do with you, but yeah. B tier is that's gnarly, but not in the good way.
Yes!
C tier, I feel like there's worse crimes. Like, you know, we need to give some leeway here. Sometimes you just mess up and you make a mistake, and that's okay. And you grow. You learn and you grow. The last one is you're just a human and you'll move on, because, I mean, honestly, like, who hasn't messed up?
I wish that I haven't had a phone to call you.
So first on the list, first on the chopping block, you could say, is TIFU. Should I be saying TIFU? TIFU by spitting on a waitress. They're gonna have to try really hard to get me to, yeah, I don't know, man. How do you have that happen by accident? You know what I mean? Like, how do you just like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. So recently I went to college and got 2 roommates. This story is about one of them. I'll call him Bob. It's like boba, get it? He found out that I don't really have much variety in what I eat. While I'm not a picky eater anymore, I'd rather spend my money on something I know tastes consistent versus possibly wasting my money on something I might hate. Basically, a fear of losing money. Bob has been putting me on fire foods. We went to bakeries, Asian marts. I had just wanted Wingstop for the first time a month ago. So when we first met, I mentioned I had never had boba, but always wanted to try it. Bob has drunk it before and wanted to put me on. During the ride, Bob describes the different types of boba, like how the balls pop, or some are chewy, so I could get a gauge of what I might want.
Obsessed, you just poke a hole in it. Oh my god, I choked on something!
We go into the spot and it's small but smells good. I don't know what to order, so based off of my answers, he tells me his recommendation. Now for the important part. Ooh. I have a big tongue and produce a lot of spit. You know what? I get you. I bet you can hear from how I'm talking in the microphone right now. Like, there's constantly spit just everywhere.
Ooh.
It's been an issue since I was a kid. When I thank people, for some reason I nod my head almost like a bow. Even my stepdad said, WTF, did he just bow to me? Your stepdad said, WTF, why did you just bow? One time, I don't even know why I did it. When I received my food, as I was thanking the lady,
what would you do if when you okay, so he said yes would go?
Pressure washer stream of spit sprayed the table, then went from her knuckle to her wrist as I was moving my head up. He didn't respond, so I apologized and immediately walked out when I got my food. She didn't even say anything. The moment I grabbed my food, she went to the back. I was kind of expecting more, to be honest. Like, I feel like that's normal. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was the waiter, I'd probably be like, I probably wouldn't think about it, to be honest. Like, I'd look at my wrist for a second and be like, and then I'd like move on with my life. So I feel like that's not really that big of an F up. Personally, I think this goes on, you're just a human and you're gonna move on. Honestly, I don't think that's that serious. I've dealt with a lot of spit talkers in my life. I mean, I kind of am one, to be completely fair to this person. So I feel like you're probably gonna do it again, and you can't go to jail every time you spit on somebody by accident. We'll move on.
I wish that I haven't had a phone to call you.
TIFU, by trying to make small talk at Thanksgiving and accidentally starting a whole family debate. See, okay, I don't know about you guys. So I live at a boarding school. So I wasn't with my family for Thanksgiving. In return, I mean, also my family doesn't really like fight that much, but in return, I was on TikTok like late at night, like waiting for the people to get on their live streams, because I knew some people were gonna start fighting with their family. And I'm sorry to say it, but I do love watching good fight. I really do. I'm kind of seated for this one. I'm excited for this one. This happened yesterday at Thanksgiving, and I'm still replaying it in my head like an idiot. Everything was normal. Food, random cousins, the annual argument about who ruined the mashed potatoes, and at some point, I was stuck in the kitchen trying to make small talk with one of my uncles. He asked how things were going with my partner, and I said something harmless like, yeah, we're good, just figuring out adult stuff. Two things to say here. Partner. I'm thinking already. I feel like I have a feeling where this is going. And then figuring out adult stuff. I really don't know like what people are expecting or like relatives are expecting that you don't really know that well when you go to talk to them for small talk. I'm just gonna keep going. Apparently that was the trigger. He immediately launches into this 10-minute story about his divorce from years ago, how messy splitting assets was, and how kids these days don't think ahead. Like, sorry, uncle, I was just trying to ask you how your day was, and all of a sudden, you're dumping your divorce on me. Yeah, I'm just with my partner, we're figuring out adult stuff, and you're like, or actually, I want to talk about how I split up with my wife. Anyway, everyone within earshot started chiming in. Boomers, millennials, Gen Z, cousins, and suddenly the entire living room was debating marriage, timelines, finances, and why nobody gets married at 22 anymore. Yeah, I find this so crazy because, you know, I'm from Utah, so I feel like getting married at 22 or like even younger is pretty normalized there. This concept to me isn't that crazy. As I've gotten older, you know, I don't think that is normal because if we're following that logic, I'd have to be married in 5 years and that's not going to work. You know, that's just not going to work. That's not in my vision, my plans for the next 5 years. I have dreams. I have things I want to do. Let me stop talking about myself. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there like, I just wanted to talk about pie. Then someone goes, well, if these two ever get married, they better plan better than we did. And the whole room looked at us like we were giving a presentation. My partner kicked me under the table so hard I almost dropped my plate. You know, okay. I have a feeling r/TIFU isn't going to be as crazy as I thought it was. So our tier list is going to look very tame. I'm seeing. Again, I feel like this is just like you're human and you messed up. Like, it's not your fault that you said one sentence to your uncle and they decided to go on a whole 30-minute long ramble about how their divorce went, and then everyone in the room wanted to be like, me. I also have something to say about this. That's really not your fault. You're human. You moved on. You'll move on. Was expecting like a full family argument. Like, I do want to see somebody say something controversial at Thanksgiving dinner. My popcorn's ready.
I wish that I haven't had a phone to call you.
TIFU. From now on, I think I'm just going to say TIFU, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. TIFU by swallowing a brown recluse. You mean like the spider? Venomous spider? The one that's deadly, that kills you?
We're flying to Philadelphia! Oh, hell no! Hell no! Whoa!
Being sent to the ER and almost dying. I have a feeling you're not going to be the a-hole. This is not, sorry, wrong Reddit. I have a feeling this is not going to be that big of a mistake. I could see how this could go wrong, but then again, actually, I take that back. How do you accidentally eat like a poisonous venomous spider if it wasn't like baked into something? This happened a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty much recovered now, but I guess I wanted to share this as a warning in case anyone else ever experiences this. So to make a long story very short, I keep water by my bed in a glass in case I get thirsty at night. Brown recluse had fallen in right around the time I woke up and needed a drink. I swallowed the thing, and of course immediately realized I had swallowed something, and my only assumption was a spider. I like how that was your only assumption. Like, it could have been anything, and you were like, nope, I just ate a spider. I knew we had a few brown recluses in the house. So, you need to call an exterminator. I'm so sorry, but we had a few brown recluses in the house, so I automatically assumed that's what it was. I ended up being right in the worst way. Now, I knew from past anxiety Googling that swallowing a dead spider is nothing to worry about. The venom is protein-based and breaks down in the digestive tract. I had assumed that I had swallowed a dead one and just decided to try to go back to sleep after a mini panic attack and more frantic Googling. This is my biggest fear. Like, the amount of times I'll frantically Google, like, do I have cancer because I farted weird? Or, like, do I have cancer because I tripped on a stick and, like, my foot turned a certain way? And then, like, I'll sit there staring at the results for, like, 10 to 15 minutes and still be stressed afterward. I can't, and then like you stop thinking about it and then it's fine, but I can't imagine like doing that, like Googling something like that, and then it just does affect you. You know what I mean? That's my biggest fear. I woke up maybe 2 hours later with horrible pain in my stomach, muscle aches, and hard spasms. Heat flashes, sweating, and drooling profusely. I stumbled to find my partner, we sleep in separate rooms, and was rushed to the ER. So what happened? That is the question. Well, the original assumption was that it bit me on my esophagus, but after lots of tests, it turns out I had a stomach ulcer that I didn't know about. That's another long story. Wait. Savannah, slow down. and the spider had very much been alive, and the venom had found its way into my bloodstream through the open wound in my stomach. Imagine getting sent to the ER after doom scrolling about like whether or not you ate poison, like a poisonous venomous spider, and whether or not you're gonna die. You get there and they're like, so yeah, you were right to doom scroll and it did get in your blood, but that's not even the end of the story. You have a stomach ulcer, actually. You have a stomach ulcer, you have an open wound. No, I'd need to be dead. You'd need to be releasing my funeral balloons like that one stud.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, release them. I wish that I haven't had a phone call you.
After a bleep ton of antibiotics and other drugs and a week-long hospital stay, I'm mostly back to normal. Yeah, mostly back to normal. You know, after like I had a stomach ulcer and a brown recluse in my bloodstream, and I'm feeling mostly okay. I still feel achy and have a lot of paranoia about my drinks now, ... I won't be drinking water in the middle of the night anymore, that's for sure. And you know what? I don't think I will either. I think you've caused another irrational fear to have. Yeah, you've caused another. I just wanted to tell this story just in case anyone else has water by their bed at night, and to just go to the ER if you think you swallowed something. Just please be careful. And on that note, I don't know what to say actually. I don't have anything to say. That's actually scary. I'm not going to drink water anymore at night. Sorry. I have no words. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so glad it wasn't me. Yeah, I really don't know what to say, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's radical, dude. I'm gonna put that in that's gnarly, but not in the good way. Not that it's your fault that happened, and I'm so sorry, but I feel like that's such a crazy story. I don't think this is gonna happen to everyone. Oh, I accidentally swallowed a brown recluse and got a stomach ulcer. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is a special case. So I think that's gnarly and not in a good way. I do feel for you. That wasn't your fault, of course. But wow, I was not expecting that. That went 1 to 100.
I wish that I haven't had a phone to call you.
I'm already, okay, I'm looking at the title of this one and I'm already scared. TIFU by playing golf at Thanksgiving. Honestly, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, because you know what? My too woke take is that golf is a representation of capitalism. Yeah.
What?
Golf is a not okay sport. If you play golf, I'm sorry that you have to hear me talk like this, but I genuinely think it's a problem. I do. Also, why are you playing it at Thanksgiving? Why are you playing it at Thanksgiving? Actually, let's dive into that, because why are you playing it at Thanksgiving? I feel like, let me see what you have to say. Me, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 22 male, we're going to his grandparents for Thanksgiving this year. We arrive about an hour early, and there is only one other person there besides his grandparents. It's my boyfriend's 99-year-old great-great-uncle. Let's call him Terry. They didn't know that he was showing up, which is 100% okay. They didn't mind at all. 99-year-old great-great-great. Give it up for Terry, y'all. Give it up for Terry, because how do you live 99 years old? Personally, I'm clocking out at 70, maybe 60 even. Yeah, I don't need to be alive that long, to be honest. I don't need my diapers changed, but you know, I just pull my blood. But he drove himself in an older, pretty dinged-up Nissan Sentra. As we were waiting, sorry, the image of a 99-year-old driving themselves up in a Nissan Sentra. As we were waiting for people to arrive, my boyfriend remembers that he has one of his golf clubs and a golf ball in the trunk of his car. We go outside so that he can practice the not long-range hits. I don't know, honestly. I decided to try to see if I could actually hit the ball. I've never been good at golf, so I didn't expect much. I hit once towards the back of the yard, and it only went a few feet. Kinda sucked. You know, I would love to talk about my experiences playing golf, because I've played mini golf like 3 times, and I think I've never gone to a golf course, actually. Then my boyfriend hits it to the back fence line. His grandparents have a large backyard, by the way. I run to where the ball is to hit it back up towards him, thinking I'd hit it about the same as I did the first time. I swung and I could only watch in horror as it hits the driver's side door of Terry's car. Girl, ... I fully did not expect to actually hit the ball, let alone as hard as I did, into a car. So I instantly start thinking, I'm going to my grave with the secrets. Wait. So you hit the ball. Mind you, you just hit it earlier and it only moved a few feet. But all of a sudden, you got like superhuman strength and you hit the ball with enough force to where it launched and hit Terry, 99-year-old Terry's car. And then you decide, your first instinct was, okay, let me just not tell anyone I'm taking this to the grave. Okay, I know. Not the most morally best thing to do, but I literally just got to the point where I was being invited to more things with his family. Oh, I think I'm following now. My boyfriend is in shock and goes to his grandma to figure out what to do. I didn't think we should tell anyone, but he's a better person than me. His grandma laughs and said Terry won't even notice, and if he was told, he wouldn't care. We first tried to pull out the ding with a hot glue stick and lighter, and unfortunately did not work. Oh. So the grandpa's not in the car. Terry's not in the golf cart. You just hit his car. I think that makes a lot more sense. that makes it a little bit less morally questionable, because I was about to say, if you just hit it with big old, just old Terry.
Women and non-binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns.
In the golf cart, and he didn't even notice. I was about to be like, okay, that's a little questionable. At this point, I'm so freaked out because nothing like this has ever happened to me. I like the wording there. Nothing like this has ever happened to me. And it's just you hit like a car with a golf ball. So my boyfriend says he will take the blame. When Terry goes to leave later in the evening, my boyfriend pulls him aside and tells him what happened and takes the blame. Terry just smiles and my boyfriend quickly changes the subject. Everyone said that he won't really remember anyway, but I was absolutely horrified. Well, I mean, this could have gone a lot worse. Like, you could have hit Terry. He would never reach 100. Yeah, this could have gone worse. I feel like there's worse things you could have done. In your defense, let me play devil's advocate. In your defense, you're just starting to get invited to more things with this family, right? Like, you don't even know them that well. And you're scared because you just like hit his 99-year-old great uncle's car and you're like, shoot, they're gonna like disown me, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, I don't think like you're at fault per se. And I think it's good that you told your boyfriend and the grandma, and it was like a collective decision not to tell Terry. So I think that's important to take into account too. I feel like there's worse crimes. I do feel like there's worse crimes because I feel like this was a collective thing. Like, yes, you hit the car of the 99-year-old great uncle, but you could have hit the uncle, and you could have been the reason Thanksgiving turned morbid.
I wish that I haven't had a phone to call you.
I think that's a good note to end because we've read a lot today. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Here's the final ranking. Let me know if you want more of this. This is the first video I'm doing, so I'm sorry if it's like a little bit weird or if I'm like not super into it yet. I'll get there. Next up, I'm doing a video essay about Tom King. If you're into comics, you should know what I'm talking about, and Wonder Woman. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. One, two, 1, 2, 3, release.